Hello, everyone, and welcome. Good evening, wherever you might be. I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to P1's coverage of Round 4 of Season 2 of the Sim Gamer Expo, the ISRA Open Wheel Series, as we come to you tonight from Northern Kentucky and the Mile and a Half Kentucky Speedway. Joining me in the booth tonight, as always, is Luis Gonzalez Nunez. We got about a minute 7 left here in qualifying. Current conditions on the racetrack, pretty hot, 118 degrees, and the track temperature 79 on the ambient. But the biggest news is that we have a new driver in the lineup that we will talk about here in a little bit. Someone that we've been looking very forward to in one of these Indy cars. A former champion here in the ISRA, finally making their IndyCar debut. And of course they would, because this is fixed Indy 500 week. So a lot of drivers that normally don't drive these cars are getting a lot of seat time in preparation for this weekend. Lewis, welcome to the broadcast. Good to have you. We're here in Kentucky.
Yes, it is. So we have a Indianapolis weekend. Different here in the IRSA with Kentucky. So Kentucky Legacy. So very bumpy in the exit on the pits. Difficult on turn 3 and 4. Not too much grip in that sections of the turn 4 and 3. Especially turn 4, turn 1. You think the car is going in the point, but it's going up. But at least we're gonna have a entry for turn 3. That's the rules we're gonna have today. So pretty good day for the race, hot, and we have a new pole-sitter on the track.
And let's get into today's starting lineup here for Legacy Kentucky. 130 laps ahead of us.
Oh, it's not Christopher here. Actually.
No Christopher.
Oh.
All right, let's get a look at the starting lineup. Here we go. Yeah, Stouffer is with the kiddo again tonight for baseball. Again, we take our hat off to him. That is a great dad right there. But on the front row, it's all 4D racewear. Devin Ramsey, who came off, is coming off his first podium finish just a couple of weeks ago. He is on the pole at a speed of 212.4. Right next to him is Richie Hearn, the real-world IndyCar veteran on the outside of row 1. Row 2, a stout that rode there as well. Clindy back off the schneid as he got the win last week. He is right next to Wagner in row 2. Collins and Hayes in row 3. Forsyth and Kirby in row 4. We'll watch that row. Levern and Reagan in row 5. Mitchum and Rigney, row 6. Rick Ravon and Collins teammates back in row 7. So we'll watch that row as well. Greenlee and Evans, row 8. And yes, that is Greg Evans, the defending Xfinity Series champion here in the ISRA. We'll watch him throughout the race. Coker and Markham 80, row 9. Fortson and Callisto, row 10. And O'Donoghue back shotgun on the field in row 11. Only 21 cars tonight, but it should be a decent-sized field at this particular racetrack.
Actually, 21 cars in this track. Pretty good, actually. Nothing bad to have that kind of feel.
No, not at all.
Here.
One last look at the conditions before we go green. 119 on the track temperature. Just went up a little bit. Field under the command of Devin Ramsey. First time sitting on the pole here in the series. Richie Hearn right next to him. He's bringing him down for a slow start. Green flag in the air. Here we go. 130 laps just ahead of us here at Legacy, Kentucky.
Look at at that. Who's going three wide? Wow. Rick Raven ready in three wide. Want to go on the front. And hold it on the end three and the turn three.
Look at how spread out they are through 3 and 4. And still at the tri-oval. Clindy to the lead. He was the winner last time we visited here. He's going to bring with him his teammate, Jacob Collins. He goes down to the low side and helps pull him along. Jacob Collins fastest that time by 2:06.9. In the early stages here, lap 3. Everyone kind of sliding into a bit of a rhythm now. Going into 3 and 4 again. It is Clindy, Collins, Ramsey, Hearn, Wag side by side for a battle for 4th and 5th. And another 4D car sneaking into the top 6 here. Craig Forsyth there in that pink car.
That was I follow Rick Raven. He almost hit Justin Kirby in front two, and he pulled back a little bit, but it was really close to hit each other.
Just ahead of Raven is Say Hey Lewis Hayes. He is in 8th spot. Saw Hayes last night in Dark Horse. Bit of an early race for him, unfortunately. Not early race for a lot of people last night in Dark Horse. 8 cautions.
It was kind of long race, but very surprised actually. It really was I got surprised when 5-6 to go coming to the pit. The car is getting loose. I didn't know that.
Side by side a little bit further back. Here is Evans and Coker. Evans in a car he's not familiar with, in a position that he's also not pretty familiar with in this league. Racing around a lot of drivers he's definitely not familiar with. It has been a season and 4 races since we've last seen this man in a car here in the series, as Fortune gives him a whole face full of dirty air. He is our defending Xfinity. He is not our Xfinity champ. That is Lionel Callisto. He's our defending Truck Series champ for Season 2. And since he joined the league during the Xfinity Series, he's really dominated with a number of wins in Xfinity and a number of wins in the Truck Series. But since the end of the Season 2 of the Trucks, we have not seen this man at all. At least here in the ISRA. We have seen him in the AMA when Murph and Sam Crow bring you that action on Thursday and Friday nights. Clindy going purple again, 2:08.2. But one of the things I saw on Reddit, someone was asking that they are a big fan of these cars, and why aren't there more people that race in these cars? Ooh, Tristan Fortson grabs a little bit of the apron. Apron bad, big twitch, but he caught it. Asking why more people don't drive this car. It is a very underrated car on the service. And universally, LGN, it seemed to be across the board that most everyone does not like having to figure out the tools in these cars for a fixed setup race. It's too hard for them, they say.
Actually, to be honest, yes, it's too hard, but that makes you close to the real stuff. So that's makes sense for that. Sometimes I really agree. That's why I like it much better than the DW12, because it's just going for the race. The only problem about that, the setup is no hook tape, so it's like everyone in one pack. Mm-hmm. But here you have to adjust your stuff to going fast, or maybe try to put the car 4 wheels in the track. So that makes sense. That's what the real drivers in the pandemic said. Oh, we need to fix this. So what happened with that? It's not make sense. This at least leave us to fix these 4 things, and iRacing give it that, and for the past 4 years, the people understand all these kind of things and make faster. For example, Maleska, Profi, Ulster, and many others around the iRacing, getting fast about that. So that's a good thing. So people like me, I understood the stuff, but I didn't get in practice too much, and then I lost all that thing. So, but that's unfortunately we'll see in there. But the community is still big for around.
You know, before I even came to iRacing, my experience IndyCar Sims was IndyCar Racing 1 and 2, and even back then you could adjust to anti-roll bars to help your handling. They didn't have the weight jacker in the car. The weight jacker, when I got here, I was like, cool, you get the weight jacker. That allows you for finer, more adjustments that you can make in the car. The roll bars are more for major adjustments. I kind of took to it like a duck in water right away. It was not that hard at all for me. And to be honest, I don't know. I've never learned any other way in an IndyCar other than having those tools available. So I do like the fact that in a fixed setup race on the base setup, you are all on the same setup. But during the race, you have a chance to improve on your car to make it better using those tools. And I don't think it makes it hard at all. I think it makes it a great way to learn this car because
Kirby. Ooh. But it's okay. I think it's damage. Big damage on Kirby and turn 4. Sorry for cut that.
That's okay. Let's take a look here. He gets up into, oh, yeah, that was a good lick. He got up to the dirty air behind a Forsyth there, and he will give up, I think, the position to Ravon. But, if you're able to beat people in a fixed setup race, and this is, I talked about this with Rick Ravon. Rick says that he likes the fact that you could beat people in a fixed setup race by, knowing your tools better. And it feels like a bigger accomplishment versus in an open setup race that some people consider a bigger accomplishment just because you could tweak the setup a little bit better than somebody else. Here on a fixed setup race, you have a very clean sheet of paper, even playing field. And if you can work on the tools and make your car a little bit better than everybody else, you're going to do better on the racetrack. And speaking of doing better on the racetrack, Clindy and Collins have broken themselves out to a 2-second lead.
Yeah, they're working together. I seen. I think so. Better if you don't want to push or try to involve in fight. So I think so. They did good. And Richie Henry staying back in there. These two guys going to the front. I think if we don't have a yellow flag, this race is gonna be defined by strategy and pits.
And to get on the pit road, they must enter using the access road going into turn 3. So we're riding right now with Jacob Collins. You see the driver inputs. A lot of throttle here. Throttles down just a little bit, grabs 4th gear down the backstretch. You're going to see on the inside of turn, there it is right there, the pit access road.
So IndyCar never used that track entry.
I don't think they did.
Maybe NASCAR stuff.
But a lot of leagues like to have people use those access roads because it really prevents issues from binding up right here, like right about this part of the racetrack that Jacob's going through, where cars begin to slow down and try to get onto pit road. Clindy now pulling away from Jacobs at 0.7 of a second. They've now pulled away from Richie Hearn in 3rd by 2.2 seconds. 23 of 130 in the books. The rule set for tonight, this is a fixed setup race. The setup is provided by the league. It is a 1.5 mile D-shaped intermediate oval, 130 laps, 195 race miles, unlimited tires, 100% fuel, 1 fast repair. Pit road speed limit is 45 miles per hour. The all-time wins leaders in real IndyCar racing when IndyCar came here. And they came here, the last year they came here was in 2011. Buddy Lazier and Sam Hornish each have 2 wins apiece here. These cars never raced at this configuration of Kentucky, which has since been reconfigured, and which is since then, if I could say since then twice, no longer being raced on at all, unfortunately.
So why not they use this track? That's the big question. Why they don't want to go at some ovals to at least break that that stuff? So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea why they don't come here anymore. I thought maybe attendance was an issue, and that seems to be the overwhelming issue with IndyCar Oval races, with the exception of Indianapolis for the most part. Gateway tends to put people in the stands with the Bommarito group. Iowa has stepped back up, but my understanding with the change in sponsors, that might be a bit of a different attendance now. But ovals with Indy cars really have, since the 90s, the attendance-wise, have really began to hurt. Back in the 80s and 90s, there would be no problem. You would see packed stands at like Michigan for the Michigan 500, just as much packed stands for Indy cars as you would see for NASCAR there. So I don't know. It just seems like a waste.
I know. 2 things before I continue with that. Marcomini, black flag, hit the wall in turn 3, and the car went to the pits. So speeding for him, unsafe entry, everything we have in one flag. So that's bad for him. So I think
he's coming to pit road right now. Yep.
Yeah. So Brent Kirby said in chat, maybe the ownership facility. Yeah, like I said, also a spectator around. But if he's coming to Toronto, make more money, or maybe go to Mid Ohio, or maybe go to Portland, or maybe go to, I don't know, which another track could be, making more money than going to one oval. Makes sense, actually.
Track temperature way up there now. This is kind of what these guys are going to face here in a couple days when they start doing fixed Indy 500 racing this weekend. And we will cover the top split 9 p.m. Eastern time this Friday right here on P1. We already have a placeholder in place on the channel that you can hit the notify me button when we go live. But 9 p.m. Eastern time this Friday, top split of the Indy 500, the fixed Indy 500. There we see Devin Ramsey, who started on the front row, now hitting the wall a little bit off of 4 last time by. He is back to 6. Craig Forsyth on back, but 121 degrees on the track temperature. This is probably among the hottest we've seen these cars handle a race course. Here's Rick Ravon in 7th spot. He's up 6 positions.
So I think the problem is not turn 3 or turn 4 actually. Is how you exit on turn 2. I see people like a Rick Ravon little loose, like a try to correct the wheel in the exit, and that can make a problem. If you turn 3, take 2, if you going approach too much to the corner in turn 3 and 4, you go to the wall like it happened with Marcomini. But here in turn 1 and 2, the exit look like Texas.
Yeah, it does. The new Texas. And here's Rick down to the white line, yellow line in 1 and 3 and 4. Very fine adjustments on his wheel. It looks like you're right. It looks like he might be a little bit of loose there. He's a little bit of counter steer, a little bit of twitching. Look at the counter steer back. Yeah, look at the counter steer.
I can see it because I always use the bar chase in this. I never use the camera TV and stuff like you use now. But I can see that sometimes you don't see in your camera, but I can see how they move the car around and try to make a correction 2 or 3 times in one, and maybe 10 feet or maybe something like that, or maybe less. So it's really make the car more nervous. That is the point when you see the car going to the air. You feel it's going to the air.
Watch the fine adjustments. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and sometimes you're thinking, next turn I'm gonna do the same thing, and no, it's just different things. So you have to be careful of that.
Over the shoulder for the Robbie Gordon camp, Justin Kirby with used tires late in the run on light tanks. A purple lap of 2:08. We'll get the camera on him. Actually, no, not light tanks. He just came to pit road. He says, I've had enough, boys. We are going to put new tires on this thing. And that's what, and he goes purple again. So he's going to attempt an undercut here.
I hope it could be worked, because we have a caution. Oof, that's going to be the worst comeback to Justin. Actually, he used fast repair. Remember the hit of the wall?
Yeah.
He used that fast repair and to going fast.
Well, he seems to be man on the move right now, so we'll see what happens. He pitted at lap 34. Bit of an early stop, but he is going to take it right now. He is 6 laps in. Here are the points coming into today's race. Christopher not in the lineup. Wait, did I change that? I want to make sure I changed that. Let's.
What I know is Wagner in the point leader.
There we go. Wagner is. And we'll show you that. Wagner, the points leader over Stouffer. Stouffer not in the lineup tonight, doing daddy duty, and that is cool. We appreciate that. His son is playing baseball, Little League. Rigney in 3rd, Hearn in 4th, Clindy in 5th, Forsyth in 6th, Ramsey 7th, Callisto 8th, Mark Murphy in 9th, and Jason Collins 10th. There you see the remainder of the top 10. Just about everyone's here, with the exception of, I don't think Mason Mitchum is in the lineup. Hugo Gallas is here. Corey Miller's not in the lineup, as well as Stouffer. But a pretty good lineup tonight, even though only 21 showed up.
Cocker in pits now.
Scheduled stop for him down and away at lap 43. So now we are starting to get into a possibility of, now we've made it to the end of the first stint under green flag conditions. Can we get to the second stint under green flag conditions? But look at this very narrow and bumpy access road off of pit road. If there's going to be a caution right here, it's going to be right there.
Yeah.
Well, Mason Mitchum is in the lineup. Sorry.
Yeah, it's in pits. Actually, it's going out now to the pits.
Greg Evans making a pass on Gary Lovern. He's up 5 spots. He goes to the high side of Lovern and does not go down and give him the dirty air. He's going to stay high. I think the conditions are impacting Lovern a little bit. He's down 3 spots. Had a good race on Friday at the Vore California 500. He finished in the top 5 there. Also a good week of racing. Matty Wagner and his split in the Majors Indy 500 had a top 10. Lionel Callisto was also in that same race. He finished in the top 10. They were the only names, Lewis, I recognized in the entire lineup. I knew nobody else. So I was asking Matt, who had to make a different strategy because he had to make an additional pit stop that kind of threw him down on the lineup a little bit. He was basically saying there was a lot of people that kind of were unfamiliar with the car in his split. Oh!
Oh!
Chris Reagan!
Yeah. And towing.
And here's what happened. Chris Reagan bringing out the first caution and just cranking too much on that weight jacker. And I think he might have, nope, not cranked enough, up into the wall and rebounds off, and that is into the inside wall. And that's going to really break the car because he's going to have to tow, and everybody scrambles on the backstretch and misses him.
Check out Callisto. I know it saved it, but the people is never raced in this car, and in this it's like a scary moment.
So those that came to pit road early, Kirby, Coker, Hayes, Mitchum, and now Reagan, he did the tow. Okay, we're going to pit off the backstretch even under caution. Okay, just got to hold your line down here, that's all. This is where black flags occur. We see it all the time happen at places like Nashville and Iowa, not Iowa, Homestead. Gateway, yep.
Close, Callisto getting contact on Reagan. Really close.
So this would be the first of scheduled stops. I think we're looking at least a 2-stopper, certainly when we've gone 50 laps into a run. So we expect the next pit stops to occur right around 100. And then at that point, they are good to go to the finish. But the leader coming to pit road is Clindy. Then right behind him is Jacob Collins. Ooh, Jacob Collins and Wags. Bit of a drag race off pit road. Then Collins got him. And then 4D cars in 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then everybody in front of Clindy is going to get the wave around. That is an IndyCar rule. The leader always brings the field back to green flag racing. Clindy, unfortunately, had built up a pretty significant lead, and he's going to have to do that all over again. Marcamini, Kirby, Coker, Hayes, Mitchum, all will get the wave around here in the next lap or two. They will join the tail end of the field. Kirby will be back on the lead lap. So the undercut didn't really reward him any because of the caution. Here we go. Wave arounds occurring right now.
This Wagner is second and won the Jacob Collins position. So
okay, so Collins has been moved back. Wags is now second, so Wags must have beat him off of pit road. Coming to the green flag this time by.
And Raven going back to 9th.
Ravon with a slow time on pit road. He was 38.2 on the pit lane itself, 8.9 in the box. Most everyone ahead of him was 37 seconds on pit road or less. Coming to green at lap 52 of 130. Green flag this time, not a slow restart like we saw at the start of the race. Clindy takes off, and he gets a big run here. Now does Wags get in there and interrupt his consecutive laps led here? If you enjoy P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo, ISRA Open Wheel Series, and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts, including Friday. We have the IIS at 4 p.m. That is at the Indy GP event. And then at 9 p.m., a full 500-mile race at Indianapolis, the official fixed Indy 500 top split, Friday at 9 p.m. ISRA Open Wheel Series is brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from all the biggest brands in the industry, meet your favorite streamers, and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community.
Oh, 2 cars in the sorry.
Fortson.
Fortson and somebody else. Collins, I think it's Collins.
No, Ramsey.
Oh, the
our pole sitter. And he kind of got into the back of Ramsey.
Oh, Ramsey went to the wall. Too high.
So we'll watch this battle down the backstretch. Hey, visit simracingexpo.com. All the links you need are in the description to get tickets or to learn more about the event. Here we watch him going in the 3 and 4, and I think what happened is, again, we're demonstrating how the closing rates of these cars are for so quickly. Ramsey gets up in the wall, loses a lot of momentum. Here comes Fortson, just not enough time to slow down, and he is there before he knows it. He should be able to execute the fast repair and get back underway. Ramsey keeps it off of pit road. That would have been a penalty, but he might have some under tray damage, and he will probably want to execute the fast repair as well. And David Ramsey showing a meatball right now, so it might have a little bit more terminal damage, not just from the infield, but probably from the wall itself. Glindy, Wagner, Collins, Forsyth, Hearn, your top 5, they are staying out. They are only 6 laps into their current stint, along with everybody else. I think we'll see some people a little bit further back come the pit road. Might as well. If you have unlimited tires, I'd come to pit road, top off the tank if I'm down in the order like Ryan O'Donohue is. And also we see Coker coming down on pit road. He's 1 lap down. Lewis Hayes, same thing. Justin Kirby, same thing. Come down to pit road, top off the tank, throw on a new set of dancing shoes, and send it here for these next opening laps as we see Fortson coming off of pit road.
So I want to come back to it. You talking about the sponsor of Sim Racing Expo.
Sim Gaming Expo.
Sim Gaming Expo. It's gonna be there. My ex teammate. It was a teammate for the GT3 competition in Lionheart, the last one they have last season. Elisa Adriani, do you remember Adriani?
Yeah, she was ELZ. She was in the ISRA and raced in some trucks and Xfinity races here. Yeah, she's going to be one of the guests there.
Yes, she is. So she's going to be over there too.
Also in the lineup tonight is this guy, Craig Forsyth. He is on the front row for the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace Indy 500 on Thursday night. We'll be on the Elite Racing Network. LGN, let's just say that, LGN and I, Luis Gonzalez and I, will be calling the action on that one. But Forsyth is starting on the front row. We have Richie Hearn is in the lineup. He'll be starting 17th. Christopher will be 13th. Clindy will be 15th. Tristan Fortson will be 19th. Wagner will be 21st. So a number of drivers, hopefully I didn't miss someone, and if I did, I really apologize. A number of drivers in this lineup tonight will be in that 500-miler at Indianapolis for part of the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series. 7:45 is when we go live Thursday night with all the pomp and circumstance leading up to the green flag of the 14th running of the Revless Photography in Indianapolis 500 in the Elite Racing League. Join us over at Elite Racing Network for one of the biggest 500s of the year. Again, that's Thursday, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a huge week of broadcasting, whether here on P1 or someplace else.
Too many Indy 500 in 1 week, so we started with that on Thursday, and then on the weekend with all that stuff. And then next week, the Open Indy 500. Open setup, actually.
Yeah, and then we had, there was a battle between Ravon and Rigney. We had to kind of started off everything on Saturday for the Vor IndyCar Series, their last race of their IndyCar Championship over on their channel. We broadcasted their California 500, so we're going to be doing a number of 500-mile races here this week. Lovern and Callisto side by side. Lovern goes back to 9th. Callisto up to 8th. Clindy still the leader. He's led them all to this point. Wagner 2nd. Collins 3rd. Forsyth in 5th. Clindy purple lap that time. Not even draft aided. That is pretty good. 209.1984. 1984. So one of Rick Mears' Indy 500 wins. He commanded that lead so much in that race, or he commanded that race so much, he won the race by a full lap over everyone else. You don't see that very often in IndyCar racing anymore. Rick Ravon underneath Richie Hurd as Rick getting around Rigney. Rigney in 7th. He's that gray car right behind Rick there. Rigney won at Texas last season. Here's Lionel Callisto coming alongside. Lionel getting the bottom line to work very well for him. Staying in the high line this time through 3 and 4.
So, talking about Richard Hearn, he only came one time to Kentucky in 2002 with the thing was with Sam Schmidt Motorsport. He finished 24 that day.
Sam Schmidt Motorsport is the precursor to Arrow McLaren, and now McLaren Racing.
My God.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's Richie
That's
Hearn.
the evolution. The evolution going with something like this to now McLaren.
Track record here is set back in 2002 by Sarah Fisher on this configuration. She still holds the existing track record. 221.390 miles per hour. We weren't even that fast for qualifying here. Moving back forward, Rick Ravon now up to Richie Hearn.
Every time when I hear Sarah Fisher, the name Sarah Fisher, remember Salazar talking about batting about
I think it was at Homestead, and AJ Foyt's like, you got passed by a girl.
He was a good lead on Homestead. He was first, and then when Hornets passed him, and then she came, and I think so 5 laps to go, 10 laps to go, something like that, to pass Salazar.
Yeah, she finished on the podium that race, I think. Sarah Fisher, for the longest time, was one of the most popular drivers in the Indy Racing League, and had her own team. And ironically, her team got their first win here at this racetrack in this configuration of 2011 when Ed Carpenter beat Dario Franchitti by a very, very slim margin here. Remember, that's also where Joseph Newgarden kind of got his start before going to Team Penske.
So Fisher is more popular than Patrick. Could be.
Danica? Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's more popular than Danica. Used to be a racer for Walker Racing. Of course, Walker Racing used to be the home of Jill DeFerrin and Robbie Gordon. Side by side behind, Lionel Callisto has caught Rick Ray Vaughn. We're going to go back to Rick's car. And we're going to get a good look at Lionel Callisto, who's got a lot of laps already this week. He's at least put in 500 miles in a race. Last night in the not the ISRA, the Majors Indy 500, one of their Indy 500 splits. Here, Rick grab another gear.
Look like Raven wanna cook the tire, so everyone is going really conservative. Look at that Callisto in the second line, try to make the line. Raven is use whatever the tools he want to go to the front and try to catch Richie Hearn on the front.
Riding with Callisto, our two-time champion in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series here in the ISRA. Here he is. He's got a run on Rick. Now, whether or not he's going to take a shot at him on the outside, going through the tri-oval area, now in the 1 and 2 up high. He might get a little bit of dirty air from Richie Hearn. Now he's going to try the inside of Rick.
At that point, he can't go on the second line. That's the thing. Because when you use the first line, your exit is more slow, actually. It's not a little bit. It's really slow.
And look at the speeds now. I mean, we're barely clearing 200s. And Callisto getting loose off the corner. Ooh, as he general leads it through the grass, and now he's got to clean off his tires. And he's got to slowly bring that thing up the speed, and he lost 2 positions. Now 3 positions, 4 positions.
Do you know in the exit on turn 3, it's like a kind of little bit high in there. It's make lose the car. If you touch that, you can lose. It's like the car is getting it's like a little bit.
I've seen a lot of problems in races historically here with the IR18 and the DW12. If you get high in 3 and 4 and you get right up against the wall there in 3 and 4, it's like a bubble of air, and I don't even know if it's really a bubble of air, but it's like a bubble of air forms, and it just pushes the car right on around.
So that's when you see it there, and what you feel over there. So yeah, that's the problem. When if you're going too high in that part, and then you try to going down again. Because the car is going like not going down, so basically it's going to like it happened with Callisto at that moment.
Yeah, and you know it's coming. You see, I mean, you felt it in practice. You see other people have it. So at some point when you're racing up there, you're like, man, I'm flirting with disaster. I know it's going to happen. And you'll do like 3 or 4 laps up there, and it'll feel good. And then you get used to it. And then one of these laps, you'll be tearing around 3 and 4. making a move on somebody, and you just get right up next to the wall, that little bubble of air forms, and then it pushes the car on around, and then as you grab the car and you catch it, and you lose all these positions, you did tell yourself, why did I allow myself to do that? I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, sometimes I always thinking about it, and that when I race with IR18, 18, sorry, have to going straight. Don't try to use too much wheel in that part. So if you use too much wheel and then turn to the left too much, that's happened. So you have to going like a basically exit straight. It's the same in Texas. And turn the new Texas when you're going to turn
1 and 2.
exit on turn 2.
Yeah.
You have to going straight, but the car have to turn basically. Don't use too much wheel basically.
Here's Rigney and Ray Vaughn. Now, do we see what happened to Rigney? That happened to Callisto last time, with Callisto trying to get down underneath. Caution on the racetrack. Marcamini and Mitchum's on pit road. But Marcamini, slow right now, and everyone's going to come to pit road. This might be a final stop right here.
Oh, the yellow touch Mitchum inside the 2 count. That's unfortunate.
All right, let's see what happens. Marcamini. Now, was Mitchum on pit road before the lights or no?
Yeah, when he crossed, it was the yellow wasn't out. When he crossed, the yellow's out.
Oh.
So he has the drive pass.
And again, Mitchum grabs too much of the apron bad, and that's exactly what happened. And let's go back a little bit further here, and let's see when Marcamini starts to spin. Where is Mitchum? He was that would if it was time just a little bit later. I don't know. He might. Yeah. That was close.
Close some Mitchum, you said?
Yeah, he might have just decided to come through, or maybe his heads up display said the pits were closed, but it looked like he was past.
Actually, when he crossed, it was open.
Yeah,
the moment he crossed the cone is.
If you cross the cones, and it's open and it closes while you're on pit road, you could still come. And I think he still, he does not drive through. He decides to come to stop, so he might cycle all the way to the front. I don't know how this is going to work out, but very fortunate for him. No, he was 1 lap down, so he doesn't get it back. Well, wait a minute. No, he's going to be 1 lap down still. He'll get the wave around, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he makes service, so he really coming in, make the fuel stuff, and
yeah, if he was able to pull that off on the lead lap, he would be your leader now. But he was so far behind when he came to pit road. I think he went a lap down, or he was going a lap down. Or was a lap down. Again, I don't remember. But they're all going to get the wave arounds here. So starting with Coker, Hayes, Mitchum, and Marcamini. Coker and Hayes will rejoin the tail end of the lead lap. They're back on the lead lap now. Okay, well, Clindy, I think, has led every single lap. '76 of 86, so I'm not sure where.
No, because the leader was David Ramsey.
Oh, the early stages. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he started as a leader.
My memory is getting worse and worse and worse. All right, so yeah, we'll give credit back to Devin Ramsey, even though it says he's led no laps. Richie Hearn hasn't led any laps either. All right, we're getting ready to go green. Jacob Collins has led some laps. There we go. Going to green. Again, not waiting to get to the restart zone. Glindy does not waste time. We are back green flag racing here at lap 87. Thanks for joining us. I have not got a chance to give you our mid-race recap, but once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching P1's coverage of round 4 of 14 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series, coming to you from Legacy Kentucky Speedway, where Glindy currently is your leader. He won here last season. He's doing it again. One winner of the last race we had in the league. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so don't miss out on the next race. The next race for us is next week. And we're going to be at Worldwide Technology Raceway Gateway next week. Jacob Collins, purple lap 209.4 as he's in the draft of his teammate. And one of my more dominant fixed series wins here in official iRacing racing that I did, Lewis, in the IR18 was at the newest version of Kentucky. I led every single lap, started from the pole, won the race. And the only reason I didn't have the purple lap is I never was able to draft on anybody all day. There was not a soul in front of me other than passing lap traffic. And I did not have the purple lap. I could have won the Grand Slam in a fixed setup race here at Kentucky. I just wasn't fast enough because of the purple lap. I had no one to race against.
I don't know if I even make a Grand Slam in the Raven over Forsyth.
Yeah, on the high side.
Yeah. Very good. But no, in my times I always race in the Old Kentucky. I never walking it close to the wall and Raven is coming fast in there. But yeah, kind of like that. And Raven.
Oh, he got close to the wall enough that Matt was able to get the momentum and swap sides, get alongside him going down the backstretch. Now you got to know that these road racing teammates in first and second are working together. And they're looking down the relative, and here comes Rick Ravon. They're like, okay, let's keep him off us. But I think the problem that we've seen with Rick, especially in long runs, is that he really uses up the tires. There's no questioning Rick's pace. And there you go, right there, purple lap, a 209.5.
But do you remember last season? To be honest, I don't know which was Kansas or was I think it's Atlanta. In between Kansas and Atlanta. I don't remember which both of them. Even I put Chicagoland in my mind, but it was one of the race when Raven was really far in front by himself, and then he started to lose the car. He started to lose momentum. Started to lose track time, and he went back, and then Glendy, I think so, won the race. I'm gonna have to look in the system. So, but that's a rule like you said. So Raven is used too much the tires, and then when he's going to the end and try to defend the position, make the guy going back. So that's what Glendy do it all the first team when he just went on the front. Without matters happen, save the tires and keep a distance for all of these guys because we have a caution. Now the group is all close, but that's a good thing about Glendy. Save the tires and go to the end.
Rafi Eckert checking in chat. Leo Salvador also checking in chat. Rafi says, Edson's not here. No, Edson is not in the league. This is invite only. And I don't know if he has the Discord invite or anything like that. But he is a good racer. Legacy Kentucky is way better. The new one has a big lack of feeling in iRacing, which goes back to what you were saying, Lewis, about the new Kentucky sometimes feels like you're floating.
Oh yeah, actually, two things before I forget. Tristan Forson and Pitts hit lap 97 side by side with the Callisto.
Oh yeah.
Hit wall to win.
Watch that again, just to the inside. And the big thing, he has dirty air from Greg Evans right in front of him, and just kind of a light touch. And sometimes where the car is the lightest, right there, that's all a touch takes, and he goes to the inside. And that might be a day done for Tristan, as he's still on pit road. Meanwhile, 30 laps to go here.
So Rafael said, well, about the new Kentucky and Old Kentucky. At least the new Kentucky, no, the Old Kentucky leave you the opportunity to race and try to fight for the position hard. But the new Kentucky is like a back race from maybe 20 laps or 25 laps, and then you see the difference between each other. And then you have that like a sensation, like oh, it look like Chicagoland, look like Kansas, look like whatever, or Las Vegas that night, Las Vegas night, look like that. And Kentucky, at least this Kentucky configuration is much better because it's just hands basically.
Say hey, Lewis Hayes coming to pit road. Final stop for him. Ryan Greenlee and Lovern side by side. We saw Kirby and Lovern going side by side. Move Kirby up to 8th. Crossover for Lovern and Greenlee. Lovern goes to the inside. Close battle here between former stock car champions here in the ISRA, Callisto and Evans. Now in the Indy cars, right in front of them, Jason Collins, battle for 11th, 12th, and 13th. Evans dives it to the inside of Collins. I do like how Evans is in the all-black car, no sponsorship, just, you know, he pulled a new Dallara off the truck.
Look like Eddie Cheever. Look like for a sponsorship with that Infinity car. And he won a lot of things actually with that black car. Oh, actually, I don't know if he won a lot of things, but at least he have a best performance with others. So.
Whoa! Yeah, he got dirty air there, and he had to roll out of it. You heard the engine kind of wind down as he went on by, as he realized, I need to lit up just a little bit. Now he's at the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, Callisto, a little bit of slide off of 2. Watch this. He caught it. Watch. Look at that. The back end. Nice slide. Gonna hurt. His tires are probably screaming right now. 23 to go.
Apron back.
Rick Rabon has caught Jacob Collins with 23 to go, and Collins needs to do what he can to protect the 6 of Clindy. And can Clindy go 2 in a row, just like Stouffer did to start the season? Here is the schedule for the remainder of the season. Stouffer won at Auto Club and Milwaukee. Clindy won at Chicagoland. We're at Kentucky this week. Next week at Gateway. Then we go to Indianapolis. Then our first road course race. Then Homestead, Miami. Twin Ring, Motegi. Phoenix, Michigan. Atlanta, Kansas. And Championship Monday in Pocono in August. Still a long ways to go. But not a long ways to go in this race. Coming to 20 to go this time by. Clindy really dominating the day.
Oh no, it was close to the wall. No, I talking about Evans. Yeah, very dominating in the car. I remember in Botif, we came. Ravens coming to Collins over there.
These two raced each other very hard at Milwaukee when Collins was in position for a third place finish. He did not get on the podium, but he's used that race as a lesson.
Look at the strategy on Collins. It's just stick or getting close. He did very good. Good defense on Collins in that. Now it's through all the dirty air and there. But the defense in the corner is getting close. Don't leave your opponent going or make the track the better track to the high. But that's what Collins did. They tried to squeeze a little bit Raven to don't leave Raven leave very early.
Oh, Rick Raven coming to pit road.
Yeah. 70 to go.
I thought everyone could come to. I thought everyone could make it. I maybe I could be wrong. Maybe we're seeing an attempt at an undercut here with 17 to go. I don't. How many stops did he make? One less stop than everybody?
3 stop, Raven. But that's kind of fast race actually. I didn't expect it to be in 16 to go, but. Jay Cocker is calling for pits too. Huh. Oh, but Cocker have a 58.
And Rick only 29, and I thought Clindy, he's at 30. He went 45, 35, and 30 in his first 3 stints. He's at 30 now with 16 to go. So Collins back to second. And what we're watching there was a good battle between someone with a lot of I rating versus someone with a lot of league starts and wins with Rick. Rick doesn't run a lot of officials anymore. He used to. He has quite a few official wins. If I go back and look, he has got, well, I believe he has got over 100 official wins here in iRacing. But probably more than that. I'm probably understating him a little bit. But he's primarily a league racer. And Jacob is primarily, at least in the open wheel side of things, a official racer. Rick Raven, purple lap that time by 2:10.5. But I don't know. He's going to be a man on the move. He's going to have fresh tires in the last 14 laps and light tanks. And he's going to get a big run from his teammate.
I never like it to pit it in with 15 to go. I prefer to do it with over 25 because at least you can do something in 10 laps or maybe 15 laps.
And I'm not sure. I think Clindy can make it. He's got himself a 3.4 second lead over Collins with 12 now, about 11 and a half to go. Collins is Clindy's teammate, so he's going to run. He wants a obvious. Oh, and there's a good battle between Rigney and Forsyth. Very good battle. But Collins is going to protect Rigney. Collins is going to protect Clindy's 6, but all the while he wants that second place finish for his best career finish here in the league. Clindy looking to extend his wins league here career-wise in the ISRA. I believe he has 5 wins now. So looking at his 6th win. Oh, Rigney makes
Whoa.
makes Forsyth wash up and almost get the wall. He had to roll out of it big time. Another battle brewing right behind him. Kirby and Richie Hearn. Nine to go. And if you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series coming to you from Kentucky. We've now completed everything but 9 laps, 130 scheduled. If you're enjoying tonight's coverage, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future iRacing content right here on P1. And tomorrow, the IndyCar Oval Series continues its season with its next round. We will be at the Oval Series tomorrow. We'll be at Indianapolis for Week 8, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on P1. It'll be a big race. I'm sure that'll be a 5K race. A lot of people will be using that as a warm-up race for the Fix 500 that weekend, or this coming weekend. The ISRA Open Wheel Series is brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gears from the biggest brand in the industry. Meet your favorite streamers and celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more, to get your tickets now, go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. 6 to go.
Well, we have 6 to go, and look like Clendy should be go to the look like it's gonna go to the end with 41 in the tank. I see Mitchell. Well, Mitchell is 1 lap down, coming to the pit. Maybe it's short on fuel, but look like everyone is going to the end. Just maybe miscalculation of Raven.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but Clendy, we're watching him 205 through the middle of the quarter. Doesn't seem to be slowing down, not in 6th gear, doesn't seem to be conserving fuel. 209 going into the corner, dipping down to 192 in the slowest portion. Back on the acceleration, grabbing a gear down the 4th gear through 3 and 4, up the 5th gear at the start-finish line. 4 to go, now 3 to go for our defending series champion, who started the season rough. The first 2 races did not look good for this guy, but he got a win last week, and now he is looking at 2 laps from a win here at Kentucky to go back-to-back in the Bluegrass State. Hearn has caught Forsyth. Teammates are going to battle it out. Hearn to the inside of Craig. We'll see both these guys on Thursday when we do the ISRA Rebelist Photography Indy 500. Clendy coming to the white flag this time by our defending series champion, looking to go 2 in a row and probably get very close at taking the points lead. Wagner is the points leader coming in. He's going to finish 3rd more than likely, off of 3 and 4. What a dominant day for Kyle Clendworth. Clendy with the big win in Kentucky for round 4. Jacob Collins getting his best finish here in the ISRA, comes home 2nd. And Wags with a good week, a top 10 in the majors Indy 500 on a podium here in the ISRA. And we'll see how the points shake out. Does he leave this round as your points leader? Rigney 4th, Forsyth 5th.
Forsyth over Richard Hearn by half a car on line, pass for line. Pretty good racer.
Look at that. Synchronized. Oh, they didn't know that. They're almost synchronized. Clindy with the win by 5 seconds. Wow, that might as well be 5 laps. IndyCar racing is so close these days. 5 seconds is forever. Jacob Collins, second. Matt Wagner, third. Rigney, fourth. Forsythe, fifth. Richie Herndon, sixth. Justin Kirby. He had a bit of a rough day. He went from started up front, went to the back, went back to the front. He's in seventh. He finished one spot better, but really he passed a ton of cars. Greenlee, eighth. Callisto, ninth. Lovern in 10th. Callisto, I'm going to guess, is going to be your Luis Gonzalez Nunez driver of the day.
Yes, sir. The driver of the day with 11 spots today.
Improves 11 spots. Greg Evans in his first IndyCar start here in the league. He had a pretty good race. He finished 5 spots better. Comes home on the verge of the top 10. And 11th, Jason Collins, 12th. Ramsey, 13th. O'Donoghue, 14th, starting shotgun in the field. Good race for him. Rick Ray Vaughn, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but was threatening for seconds and comes to pit road with about 15 to go. I'm not sure if he was short filling the whole race and just that last pit stop didn't get enough fuel. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about that. Comes home 15th. Lewis Hayes, 16th. Coker, 17th. Mark Amini with a bit of a rough race, 18th. Mitchum, 19th. Tristan Fortson, not the greatest day either, in 20th. And Chris Reagan, first out in 21st.
So yeah, in 1 hour and 3 minutes, really fast actually. I didn't expect to be that fast, but was a really nice race, I think.
Yeah, only two cautions?
Caution, let me see. Could be 2 cautions, yeah.
All right, we're going to get the interviews in here. All right. And let's head to the interview room and get our podium in here to talk about the race. Here is Wags. Will bring up Matt Wagner. P3 here today, Matt. Not a bad week for you. Got that top 10 in the majors, Indy 500 split you were in. Get a podium here. Do you have anything left for later this week when we go racing at Indianapolis in the Elite Racing League and maybe one of the fixed Indy 500s this weekend? You got to be feeling pretty good. A lot of momentum going into those big races.
You have no idea what my arms feel like right now. So we had the 4 race. What was it on Saturday?
Yeah.
And the 500 on Sunday, and now here we come here, and God Almighty, I'm drained. Thank God I got off Tuesday. I don't admin the Area 51 League no more. So, yeah. So this race was kind of weird. I'll have to go back and look at the timing and scoring of that last pit stop. I know I beat Clendy off pit road. Like I know I did, and then timing and scoring put Clendy up front, and I was kind of disappointed in that because I felt like if we were out in clean air, we can actually pull away like Clendy did. It was very difficult to not burn off that right front and that right rear. It was dirty air sucks. Put it that way.
Well, I mean, you after a while, when the field got strung out, you managed to kind of get some clean air. But was it still, even when you got into the podium zone there, was it still tough racing because of the conditions?
Oh yes, most definitely. Like just because of the conditions, I was trying not to burn my stuff up and look and behold, I was looking to my right side. I see um Rick was burning his stuffed up, burning
Yeah.
his tires down, and it was like, wow, why would you do that? And I was like, well, if I known Rick, he doesn't like running second or third. He
No.
wants to be out in the lead.
Right.
He wants to lead. So I was playing the long run game. I said, heck, if I finish second or third, I'm a happy camper. It's a good points day for us.
Well, speaking of the points, Clindy does pick up the points lead by one single point over you. You're down the second, but it's virtually a tie going into the next race of the season. And just remind people where we're going. We are heading to Gateway next, but still, for you, sir, a ton of racing ahead of you this week still with at least one Indy 500, if not more, with the officials this weekend in the Fixed Series. So get some rest. But before you get there, at least celebrate this P2 a little bit. Do some shout-outs. Thanks some friends, families, and sponsors that got you here because you earned it getting here a third place here at a very difficult and a hot racetrack at Legacy, Kentucky.
Oh, I prefer it that way. I think it's much fun. You conserve your tires. Rigney did a much better job, by the way. He was climbing through the field. I'd like to thank the Sector 5 guys for letting me run that major 500. That was truly a blast. Brian Bennett, thank you so much. Lionel Callisto, thank you. Uh, Everybody over there. Hell, even Jimbo, a former Lionheart member. Uh, those were really good guys, and a special shout out to Nathan Dowd. Love those guys over there at Sector 5. Thank you very much. And you guys were the beautiful broadcast. And a big shout out to Craig. He's going to take over to lead that Area 51 league, and I'm sure he'll do a great job. And I got many things to go, man. I got a lot of 500s to do, but I need some rest. So I'm going to get on out of here, and y'all take care and have a good night.
Before you go, actually, yeah, you beat Clendy on the line when you exit the pit.
Yeah, that's why I was.
Ooh.
That
Yeah.
was.
But Clendy went. I don't know what happened when I raced him, but Clendy went for outs, just went straight. You went for in between the two cones, but you was basically nose two wheels on front of him.
That's crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, a little bit of controversy coming out of this one, but right now, I don't know what that we could do to change any of that, but maybe we should put a little asterisk here and say unofficial results, at least for tonight. We'll see what happens. Wags finishing third. Have yourself a good night's rest. You're going to need it. We will see you, Lewis and I will see you next Thursday on the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series as when they take the green flag for their 14th running of their Indy 500 shortly after 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you then.
All right, tough field. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see ya. All right, and let's bring up Jacob Collins. And he has been a big help with us in the booth for here in the IIS. Here is Jacob Collins. Jacob, best finish in the ISRA, kind of protecting the 6 of Clindy, but even racing your own teammates sometimes it feels like a futile effort with Clindy was just hooked up today and pulled away from everybody.
Yeah, I think this is kind of what like Indy on steroids, where once the car's kind of single file out, you get spread out pretty quick. He basically told me if I was leading at that restart, it would have been the same song, same dance with me in the front. But who knows? We'll never know, I guess. But yeah, it's there's always somebody you got to have to chase, and sometimes it's your own teammates.
you were in a battle there with Rick Ravon for a while. Were you surprised to see him pull off and head the pit road? I know we were.
I don't know what necessarily happened there. I don't know if he got loose and just decided to make the call to the pits, or maybe he burned his tires off or what. But I was definitely surprised because he was holding steady with me for a good while there, and then it was just all of a sudden he was gone. We almost thought his connection dropped with just how quickly he kind of just shot backwards and went into the pit lane. So, you hate to see it, but I'm glad I was able to kind of hold Rick off this go around and get a solid finish.
Well, a big week, of course, on the sim. We were talking about it with Wags. We got the fixed Indy 500s coming up. How do you feel about this weekend? I mean, you're heading into that race with a nice little warm-up race here at Legacy, Kentucky. Got to feel pretty good going into even the fixed race tomorrow in Indianapolis. Kind of use it as a warm-up for later this weekend.
Yeah, I ran the opening oval fixed slot too. Dropped the car P3 in qualifying. There's a couple guys that should have been faster but didn't set times, and then kind of got moved out of the way in the opening stages of that race. Finished sixth, so I feel like we'll have a decent piece. Just be putting together that 4-lap run, which as people like to say is the hardest 10 miles in racing, even though you're only car on the track. So
yep,
we'll see how it goes.
Congratulations! Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to?
Yeah, Sammy, my girlfriend, my mom, my dad. Without my dad, I wouldn't be in racing at all. So he's first and foremost there. All the guys on Rogue Racing, Tony, Ty, Kyle, Cody. The roster keeps growing. Hunter, everybody we've got, Ryan, all those guys over there. We've been working real hard trying to get everybody kind of further up the grid, so to speak, and we've been putting on some good shows over the last season here, so we'll hope to close some good stuff out. Maybe get Kyle his coveted oval fixed championship. I think it's kind of the big goal for us this season. So I don't think the community's ready for that. I think he's talked that he's gonna seal club into oblivion once he wins that championship. But a couple weeks left to go. Indy's obviously a big one. We've still got Auto Club, so we'll see how it closes out. But thanks everybody here for putting these on.
All right, best finish in the ISRA tonight. Second place here at Legacy, Kentucky. Best of luck this week, and all the other officials that I'm sure you have planned, and we'll see you in a week or so, probably with pretty tired arms, just like Wags has right now, when we get to Gateway here in a week here, next Monday. So congrats, and we'll catch you then.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Jacob Collins, very happy.
Points
Jacob
up.
Collins. Points are up, yes, and so the points coming out of this race is Clindy has a 1-point lead over Wags. Wags goes down to second, so it's 179 to 178. Rigney very quietly sneaks his way into third. He has 166, so he's 12 points behind Wags, 13 to the lead. Forsyth is in fourth. Richie Hearn is in fifth. Jacob Collins is in sixth, Devin Ramsey seventh, Callisto eighth, Greenlee in ninth, and Jason Collins in 10th. But the 9th and 10th are tied, so we will bring in 11th spot Rick Ravon with 130 points. He is technically, I guess, would be in 10th spot with 130. So go ahead.
This is Stoffer in 13.
Yeah, he's fallen all the way to 13th.
Wow.
For missing 2 races.
Wow.
But I mean, he's being super dad. So super dad's
making more points.
Yeah, he's making more points where they count the most. So. All right, let's bring up Clindy into the booth. 2 in a row, Clindy, and defended the turf that you won last year here. So 2 in a row at Legacy, Kentucky as well. Congrats. And a really dominant day. I guess is it maybe a sign of things to come this week?
We will see. You cannot make 2 racetracks more dissimilar than a 1.5 mile D-shaped tri-oval and a rectangle that's a mile longer. So the month of May is here. I'm very excited to qualify here in just a few minutes for the first time, and hope I can get a time worthy to get me in top split so I can be on the iRacing broadcast and the P1 broadcast and have all these fans who are in chat excited and rooting me on. I'm really, really nervous, honestly, that I'm not going to perform well in qualifying. But I get all week to get it figured out, and if I don't execute tonight, I've got the rest of the week to get it done.
Well, Scott Dixon said it. He says that qualifying at Indianapolis is one of the hardest things to do. It's 10 miles, yourself, the car, nobody else, your driving skill and the clock. That's kind of what you're up against. And even then, there are, the jitters and a virtual racing environment. You're not really, you're not like Nolan Siegel right there. You got a bad car and you're putting it out in the line and whatever it is, you're probably going to bend it up. But, still, even on a sim racing point of view, it gets the pulse pumping and it gets the palms nice and sweaty. Even thinking about, making a run at Indianapolis in a virtual sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's not just myself out there. I mean, the walls are awfully scary. They like to have magnets and pull in the car because it's made of metal. And you got all the other times that you're staring in the face. All these other competitors have the same exact car I have. So if I can't do what they're doing, I'm doing something wrong, right? And so you got to look yourself in the mirror, figure out how to be better and how to go faster and do it. And I've put my nose to the grindstone, getting faster and faster this past year. So that way I can compete and race in the top splits this year. I just have to be able to execute in qualifying. That is my biggest weakness. So hopefully we'll see if I have modified my driving capabilities to the point where it is no longer my biggest weakness. And instead, it's something else. That doesn't hurt me nearly as much.
Let's talk about the race here today. A dominant race for you. Led 121 laps. No one was really there to challenge you at all. Did you feel like you had this place pretty well covered in the car, or was it a challenge for you at all? I know we talked to some people, Wags a little bit further back, and he says dirty air was awful. You didn't have an awful lot of dirty air. It just seemed like just about the time you're going to catch some cars and put them a lap down, the caution came out. It was pretty clean sailing for you. Anything, was the experience hard at all for you, or was it pretty much a breeze, as it kind of looks like, as the stats say it was for you?
I definitely pushed very hard at the beginning of the race to get by the 4D guys, both Evan and Richie, who were on the front row. I was like, I've got to get rid of these guys on the first 2 laps, otherwise they're going to team up and form a wall, and Jacob and I will never get by, and we did that to perfection. And then from there on out, there was a time Jacob passed me when he was running the second lane or the second and a half lane, maybe lap 7 or 8, and I thought I was going to finish second today. I was like, that dude has got this place figured out. And then we played nice, and he fed me or left me a lane and let me know where he's going to run, and I kind of saved my tires on the bottom, and he came back to me after 15 or 20 laps, and I was able to make my move, and he didn't defend too hard, right? And that was it. From there on out, the only slight hiccup I had was on pit road. I almost missed my box, and Wags almost beat me out, but again, you got to know everything about the sim in order to be fast here, and I used it to full effect today.
Not a great start to the season. Obviously, we talked about that before. The first 2 races you want to forget about, but the last 2 have really made up for the bad first 2. Now you've won 2 in a row, and do you feel like you're back on a bit of a roll and back in championship form here to defend your title?
As far as I'm concerned, Chris Stouffer and I have had the same season. I'm just going to pretend he DNF'd these last 2 races. He had bad luck early or something, and we're both 50-50, right? So we'll see who comes out on top at Gateway.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Go right ahead. Another win here in the ISRA. You are the all-time wins leader here in the Open Wheel Series. So give those shout outs. I know you got them.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank my Uncle Phil for having me out at Texas Motor Speedway this week. I know they say that your ears turn red when people are thinking about you, but for me, it's because I got sunburned, and I'll be thinking about Texas for a really long time. I had an incredible time this weekend. Met a lot of fans and made a lot of friends this weekend, both at the track and off the track. So very excited to maybe go back down there and go next year, or go to the IndyCar race at Jerry's World when that happens next spring. Shout out to the Votive Racing League. We'll be kicking off our season 3 on June 8th, and that is at the Kentucky racetrack, the same racetrack but updated. It's called the Indy Votive Derby, or the Votive Indy Derby. One or the other.
Votive Indy Derby. Yep.
It's like Yep, it is our marquee event. It's the Race for the Roses and the Riches. Come and enter. It's free to join and pays to win. So I know we just had the Kentucky Derby over the weekend. So shout out to Lori, who taught me everything I needed to know about racehorses in the accounting booth at TMS. So, and then shout out to Techtopia Systems. If you need an integrated total PC parts maker solution contact, they are your place to go. You can find them online on Facebook, or if you Google Techtopia Systems, they'll come right up, and you can order pre-built from them. Gary runs a Techtopia system, so if you like the way my car looks right now, it's coming to you through Techtopia. So give them a shout, see what you can find, and of course the channel. P1 Broadcasting does all of these broadcasts, and without them, I wouldn't care nearly as much about this community. And check out my track guides for Indy Oval Fixed. I am currently leading the points there, and hopefully can bring home that championship. So.
Couple more weeks.
Yeah, then as always, friends and family. So
yeah,
I got my Uncle Phil, but my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, all my cousins, aunts and uncles everywhere, and everyone else all around the world. So yeah, that's it.
A couple more weeks of that championship, so it's getting closer and closer. But best of luck this week. I know the focus is less on the championship and more of getting a strong qual for Indy, getting into that top split, or at least getting into a top split. And getting a win there in the fixed. And of course, we have the ERL this week on Thursday. So big week for you as well. Best of luck. And hopefully one way or another, we're talking to you again on the broadcast very, very shortly on if a podium, if not a podium, a win.
Yep, I hope to be on a square of a podium when I race on the rectangle a lot this week. So yeah, ERL, the iRacing broadcast, your broadcast, any of them. So it starts in Q, and I'm on that right now. So
all right, best of luck. We will let you get down to business. We'll see you in a week when we go to Gateway.
All right, partner. See you later.
Yeah. So, Lewis, everyone's getting all set for Indianapolis. This seemed like a bit of a warm-up here tonight. And I think the conditions we were facing tonight in terms of very hot. And Clindy's right. I mean, this track can't be any more different than Indianapolis as a D-shaped 1.5 mile intermediate oval versus a 2.5 mile super speedway. But in terms of conditions that they're facing, they're going to be facing pretty similar conditions going to Indianapolis this week, about 120 degrees plus when they go racing, and a lot of dirty air that they'll have to deal with. And we saw a lot of that today.
Yeah, so it's a really different different approach. You said that, we said that. It's like Indianapolis and Kentucky is two different things. I know the condition, the weather condition could be the same. Should be good approach for that, but different thing is really is black and white. It's not really the same thing. So I know we have to talk about the race. Clendy 121 lead, and Jacob Collins only 9 laps today. That's the official by iRacing lead. So, but Indianapolis is this week. We started on what you said. The major started last week. The first Indy, but this week we have the qualifying started on Thursday, or maybe this week started anyways. But the Thursday we have at ERN, and yeah, it's getting like excited because you have only 4 times to try to win at least one. If you mess with one or miss one, you can do a second one to the third one, and maybe you can for the big guys for the qualifying, they can start it from Friday, and then you can go in for Saturday for the big one. So that's when it's gonna be the big soft for the from 1 to 33 qualifying in the score. So Clendy wins, so bad for Stopper. I know he's doing something family for the family, but if you're talking about the points in the championship, yeah, it's very bad. That's what happened with Murphy last season when he missed one. He went from first to 10, and then he even close to come back after that. So let's see if he's come back in the next one. I have it here.
Next race is Gateway.
Next Gateway. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Gateway. If it's come back on weight and Gateway, who knows? If it's not, it's okay. He have a more important things to do, so that's the main thing. Fernando Alonso said in the quote it is the 4 most nerves and wrecking laps for driving in motorsport. So basically, like Jacob Collins said, in 4 laps, you alone, you have a 1 lap easy, 2 laps easy. The third is like, oh my God, what is this? And the 4th one is like, oh, I have to put the car in the track. So it's really nervous, the car, in especially when the real drivers is put sponsors, money, time.
Mhm.
It's a lot of time they put it in the table just for missing in one corner. So at least these guys have a many times to attempt it, so that's good. So for me, nothing more. See you Thursday in ERN with the Indy 500, and see you Pocono next week. Pocono, get weight with the ISRA in the Open Wing Series.
You know, it was Paul Page that said that qualifying for the Indy 500 isn't about making the race. It's about earning your place in history. So best of luck to all these guys in the virtual sense here that will be making the run for Indianapolis. And we will be going to Indianapolis here in part of the league here just in a couple weeks. You saw on the schedule. But in the name, also in the words of Bob Varsha, before you can race, first you must qualify. So again, best of luck to all these guys qualifying. And remember, folks at home, if you're still listening and still watching, the official Indy 500 qualifying is done completely different than any other series on the service. First of all, you're doing your 4-lap. It's the 4-lap average. You don't have that part of any other racing series. That is unique to Indianapolis and IndyCar racing. And also, you are not racing people. You could be in the top split, right? But you're not racing. You're in the top split based upon how fast you are, not based upon your I rating. So you could be in the top split with someone with low I rating because they were just very, very fast, or they're very fast, but they only race in a lot of league races and they don't race in a lot of officials. So this is where you see the most diversity in lineups this weekend when you see the fixed Indy 500 is because you're really racing people who are the same speed as you, has nothing to do with your I rating. Go ahead.
Yeah, we saw last year actually, with this guy with the Jordan. It's a NASCAR guy.
Kerwin.
Look at the game.
Casey Kerwin.
Kerwin. Yeah, so top guy with the almost 10K with people with 2K.
Yeah.
3K.
Yeah.
It's like what is this? So
yeah.
I know it's the one of the top split in the week, but still win that is they make you a good sensation. So it doesn't matter what split. At least you win the race. Somebody told me I won the Indy 500. It doesn't matter which split, but I won it.
Yep, and I finished 4th in my one and only one, and I feel like that was an accomplishment. So,
my side was I leading. Somebody told me 15 seconds back. Told me good win, Luis, and ran out of the fuel in the back straight.
Oof.
So yeah, that sucks.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of these days you should get back in there. I think you will be able to audit that one out, I'm sure.
With the time they have this year, maybe next year is gonna be the same. I can't. It's not really my time because the job and real life can't.
Yeah. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Kentucky Speedway. Clindy gets his 2nd win of the row and is now your new points leader by 1 point over Matt Wagner, who comes home 3rd. Jacob Collins gets his best finish ever here in the ISRA, comes home 2nd. Join P1 again next week for round 5 of season 2 of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheel Series. It's the teams of drivers Head to Worldwide Technology Raceway for one last showdown before Indianapolis. Coverage begins around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so I'll miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow night, the IndyCar Oval Series. That's right, the iRacing IndyCar Oval Series at Indianapolis for a big warm-up race leading into this weekend's big main event. Coverage starts at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. That's all tomorrow. The ISRA Open Wheel Series is brought to you by the Sim Gaming Expo. Get ready for the ultimate simulation gaming experience. The Sim Gaming Expo is bringing you all genres of simulation and gaming technology under one roof. Join us September 5th through 7th in Chicagoland at the Schaumburg Convention Center to try out the latest gear from the biggest brands in the industry. Meet your favorite streamers. Maybe we'll be there. I think we will. We'll see. Celebrate your passion for simulation with our incredible community. Don't miss out. To learn more or to get your tickets, go to simgamingexpo.com and be a part of simulation gaming history today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. The links are in the description. So, for Luis Gonzalez Nunez, everyone here at P1, the Sim Gaming Expo, and the ISRA, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all good night and thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week at Gateway for the next race of the Sim Gaming Expo ISRA Open Wheels Series. Good night, everybody.